Hi, my name's Alex, and this guitar is genuinely terrible. I've covered up the brand name of this guitar for litigation purposes, although I don't think the company that makes this would even want to admit to making it to sue me. What makes this guitar bad is that it is a bad tool, and a guitar is essentially a tool. This guitar costs less than $60 delivered to your door in Australia, and it is irredeemable. As a person who teaches guitar and repairs guitars, this guitar is not even worth fixing. The amount of effort that would be required to fix the neck bow, the general non-playability, the terrible finish, the unsanded in part fretboard, the tuners that basically don't move, would not be worth the cost of just buying a new guitar, which would most certainly be easier. However, there is one thing and one reason why I want to have this guitar for you today. And that is because I want to demonstrate the purposes of how good wood glue is at repairing a neck joint. So I'm going to take you through a very real world scenario here. You have your beautiful guitar, let's pretend that it's a Gibson, and you're backstage and you put your guitar down after a gig just to sort it out a bit, and something terrible happens. You accidentally snap the neck off your guitar. Disaster. This is a bad thing, but all is not lost. We're going to see the strength of Titebond at repairing this joint, string it up with even heavier strings, and see if it can withstand it. Hey guys, I am back with this instrument that had a broken headstock. It's a very, very bad quality instrument. I explained the reasons why I broke it in an earlier clip of me breaking this. Now when I glued it together, I didn't want to use any of my good equipment that I was using on any other projects, so I just glued it together with some Titebond and used two F-clamps. Didn't protect the guitar at all. And I also, for a bit of extra fun, engineered a bit of a weakness into this. I did not glue this flush, so this is not the strongest possible joint that you could have. As you can see, there is a huge gap. This should mean that this joint is weaker than it should be. And the reason I did this is because what I'm hoping we're going to see here today is that this joint is still incredibly strong, even though it's not as good as it could be. Also keep in mind that the wood in this guitar is incredibly soft, incredibly coarse, and doesn't make for the world's best binding surface. So it's got a lot of things against it. In a premium instrument where you'd have a better quality wood, you'd expect an even better bond than what this has. So, let's get started. It's kind of tuned up to pitch here, kind of, roughly. This also now has 12 to 53 strings on it. It's an expired pair of Dunlops that I had. They're from 2008, so this is probably the only thing that they're really good for. They're a bit rusted out, as you can see. So, I'm going to stress this joint by pushing down on the headstock so that it's carrying all the weight of the guitar. And we can see here it's doing it just fine. I'm flexing it, I'm stressing it by jumping it up and down a little bit, and it's taking it just fine. Nothing to see here. Just check out how bad that fretboard sanding is, by the way. It's smooth in some places, completely raw in others. This guitar really is a total train wreck. Now I'm going to up the ante a little bit here and introduce a Stanley number 4 plane. If you know your planes, this is quite a heavy plane. Maybe 1.5 to 2 kilos, possibly a bit more. I've retracted the blade so that it doesn't damage myself or the guitar, not that I particularly care about it, but I'm going to add this in here. So now this joint is going to have to contend with not only string tension and the weight of the guitar, it's going to have to contend with the weight of the Stanley number 4 plane. Can it handle it? One way to find out No trickery here, that's purely just my left hand forcing it down, and I'm exerting quite a bit of pressure. Slower again. Flexing the join. Doesn't appear to be any flex in that whatsoever. The tunings remain stable, so we know that the glue join's pretty much held together. So to summarize, this isn't the best that a glue joint could be in a neck repair. I intentionally put a handicap on this to demonstrate just how strong Titebond is when doing neck repairs. If I had done this properly, it would be significantly stronger. And God knows how much weight it would be able to take. Maybe that's something I should test one day. Who knows? But if you're ever worried about having the headstock of your Gibson or any other guitar, commonly acoustic guitars, people lean them up against walls, they fall down, the headstock breaks. Never fear, because Titebond, when done properly by a professional who cleans it up and makes sure everything's aligned, like I would if this was an instrument that I cared about or was actually trying to fix, then it's going to come out just fine. So I hope that helps alleviate any fears that you might have about repairing your broken necks. Now, some places will actually route 2 splines into the back of the guitar so that you can put a piece of material in, or 2 pieces of material into the headstock, so that it goes between the 2 pieces of wood, connecting 2 very strong pieces of the wood together. This can be really good at really increasing the strength of the neck joint. Is it totally necessary? Not really. If you look at the strength of wood glue, you will probably find that in most cases the join of the glue, the bond, will be stronger than the wood itself. This has been tested repeatedly on YouTube, the strength of wood glue. It is incredibly strong. So you shouldn't really have any problems with or without a spline. The spline is going to set you back a lot more money though. And if it's something that you really want, feel content about the repair, then fair enough. If not, it's not really necessary. Hope that helps. Bye bye.